The NFL stands for not for long.
Set Sharga and Armstead. Roll out. Walker still running out. Looks to the left. Wide open. Thompson touchdown. Colin Thompson with the touchdown. There was nobody within 20 yards of him.
What a catch off the bobble. Colin Thompson scoops it up.
Lofting corner, the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. The first NFL touch for Colin Thompson is a score.
What's up, everybody? Happy Thanksgiving. Recording here the day before Thanksgiving. Hope everyone's doing great. This is the Colin Thompson Show, presented by our friends over at Not For Long Media. I guess that is me, Not For Long Media. Presented by the media company, Not For Long Media. And then by our friends over the original Fudge Kitchen. It's the holiday season. Corporate, if you're buying gifts for the people you do business with, call the Fudge Kitchen. Just give them a call. Talk to Jimmy. Ask for Jimmy. Tell him Colin sent you from Not For Long Media, Colin Thompson Show, Food, Drinks, Football, whatever. Let them know we sent you. Give us a buzz. FudgeKitchens.com. And they'll ship sweet treats and fudge right to your house. I mean, Jimmy's great. He'll take the order. He'll help you out. You can get the custom boxes, the whole nine. We did stuff for our wedding. And then Christmas, I have Jimmy send me like a little 2-piece boxes that I'll give out to people that are my friends and thank them for doing business around Annapolis with, etc. I just love it. It's a great little gesture and a gift, other than like some flowers or some chocolate. And you can have like they just do it right. 50 years of business plus 55 now or whatever it is. The original Fudge Kitchen, FudgeKitchens.com. First off, I appreciate everybody listening to the Temple football job, the description, thoughts, what the Temple football kind of monologue or whatever I did last weekend. Full transparency, I've been transitioning into coaching here for the last 6 months as my career has come to, kind of an end here. I'm still training and I'm in good shape and I could go into a practice squad and play on a football team right now. I want to do it. I could do it. I know I can play. The hardest part about playing is looking out there and saying I can do what that guy does, but he's 24 and he was a draft pick. And, it's just natural progression of your way out of the NFL. It sucks. I miss playing. I miss the physicality. I miss the brotherhood, the camaraderie, the challenge, the ups, the downs, losing sleep, traveling. I miss playing. I miss the grind. But so, I made a decision to some extent, to get into coaching and still do media and kind of figure out how they're going to come together and figure it out, and just go through this journey together. And of course, I would love to coach at my alma mater. I think every player that had a great experience at their alma mater would love to coach there, be the head coach there. So, I felt people asked me about the Temple job, your thoughts on it, how to make it right. I was answering so many phone calls and texts about it, or at least making a couple about it, how we should make it right. And everyone's like, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a show. I have a show on a platform and even got 1,000 views on it on YouTube, which sounds like nothing, but I don't do it for the views or anything. I just interested to hear engagement and thoughts. And we got great comments on that and great comments on the pod. So I want to see Temple football win and have pride, I want the next coach to take pride in being there and not use it as just a leap to the next thing. Truly, because that's kind of what it's been. And I think that's the type of coaches we've gone after, which I love. When it was good, when, Coach Golden was there and he left to Miami, and then you hire Coach Indazio and he goes to BC, and then you hire Matt Rule and then he goes to Waco, and then the NFL, and then you hire Jeff Collins and he goes to Georgia Tech, and then Manny Diaz was the right hire. Manny left and went to Miami. And then, Rod Carey came in and didn't do great. Tough times during COVID and, just wasn't a right fit for him. He's at Indiana now doing well. And then Coach Stan Drayton, who I respect, it didn't go the way, wins and losses. So it's all about that. It didn't go the way he wanted, didn't go the way that we wanted. And obviously administration wanted because they got rid of him. So we'll see what happens. Always be interested in coaching in my alma mater. Why not? And would be unique. Would be the first person to come out of playing in media and get a type of job like that. It's very common now, actually. But we'll see. We'll see. Taking it a day at a time and transition into coaching here, and just kind of a little tidbit with that. I want to touch on a few things around the NFL. Daniel Jones, really happy for him. This is a perfect fit. First off, he's going to the practice squad. So if a team needs a quarterback or a team has an injury or something happens, they can claim him. He goes right to their active roster. If a team he doesn't want to go to tries to claim him, he can say, I'm just not going to play for you. I'm not going there. So don't even try to claim me, right? So little player power, little movement there. The agents get involved and just say, hey, he's not going to play. So don't even claim him. So he's with Minnesota. Great fit. Kevin O'Connell and their staff have done great with quarterbacks. What happened last year with all the injuries and they've had success. What happened this year with Sam Darnold, tremendous. So first off, you go there, you learn from a new system, and you get around a guy in Kevin O'Connell and their staff that has helped quarterbacks, but also Kevin played in the NFL, he played for the Patriots, several teams, super successful, comes from the Rams and McVay. He's done it. It's proven. And then on another note, almost every NFL team that's having tons of success offensively runs the offense in Minnesota Vikings, Texans, Niners, Packers, right? A lot of teams that run it, right? And each year they pull a coach out of it. The Rams, this assistant goes here because he was attached to Shanahan or he was attached to McVay. So now Daniel Jones is getting a head start. He's learning the offense now. So worst case, he doesn't play this year. He learns the offense. Great. Signs maybe a deal next year for minimum. J.J. McCarthy's a starter. He backs him up, takes his time, rebirths himself, go to place next year to be the starter again 2 years from now, and then all of a sudden he's rolling. So there's a lot of really good positives around Daniel Jones getting this opportunity with Minnesota, A, because of the coaches, B, because of the mobility he may have when it comes to player movement, and then C, just from the pure fact that you're learning that offense, which now every team in the NFL runs, completely different verbiage-wise than what they run with the Giants. So congrats to him. Funny story. I'll tell this story, actually. I almost went down on an airplane with his father. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Yeah, we were going to Shreveport from Dallas. I was calling the Shreveport Bowl game, Temple versus Duke. He was a senior. He lit up Temple. Ed Foley was the interim head coach there. Shout out to the GOAT, Ed Foley. And yeah, it was like lightning and really rough landing in Dallas. And there was like a lot of planes grounded in Dallas when we landed. And it was a really rough flight down. But we landed all good, right? Go to the next flight. There's lightning strikes like right there in the distance. You know, when you're like getting on the plane and you look around and you're like, oh boy, I can kind of, before you get on the plane, you kind of could see outside. And I'm seeing like lightning in the distance. I'm like, we're going to be sitting here for a while. And it's only like 2.5 hour drive from Dallas to Shreveport. But, you know, the Temple paid for my flight or whatever for the bowl game. So they flew me in. So I'm like, yeah, sure. No problem. It's going to fly. Why not? Of course. It's usually like a 25-minute flight. So we start hauling ass out. We're driving. We're to the end of the runway. That we're good to go. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. So we get up, and man, it was a flight from hell. I mean, people were praying. I was on the flight with Temple teammate Jake Robinson's grandparents. They were on right in front of me. Daniel Jones' dad was right next to me, and his best friend, whose son was an offensive lineman. It seemed like just chatting with him a little bit and going back and forth. And it was a flight out of hell. I mean, we were sideways, up, down, almost flipped over, like that type of stuff. Really rough. And when we took off right away, the guys got right on the intercom right away. There'll be no service. Buckle your seatbelts tight and hold on. And we rocked and rolled for 30 minutes straight. Sounds like it wasn't a long time. Every second went by like it was 20 minutes. And we got to Shreveport, man, where everyone was like shaking. It was that rough. And I'm usually pretty good on flights. My uncle flew in the Navy, flew for JetBlue and United for whatever, 25, 30 years. And he's told me like, hey, man, you got nothing to worry about. Even through the worst storms, you'll be fine. Worst case, they're landing that puppy in a field, water. They'll find it, or they'll find a small airstrip. But that day, man, was sketchy. We were fine, but sketchy day. And Daniel Jones' dad was literally right next to me. I mean, people were crying. It was a crazy day. So when I think of Daniel Jones, I think it was Pop. It was a super nice guy, and ended up introducing myself and meeting him a little bit later after the flight, oddly enough. So, yeah, plenty of great games this weekend. The slate of games is tremendous. Really, primarily for me, I shouldn't even say the slate. It's really just what's this Ravens-Eagles game is the game of the week for me in the NFL. Let me pull them up here real quick, talk through them. Bears-Lions, that'll be a better game than people think, I believe. Lions are a juggernaut. Giants-Cowboys, interesting game there, right? Those teams, to me, like I'm trying to lose so I can get a higher draft pick and more leverage. Absolutely be careful winning late in seasons. I know it matters, and I was a player, and I played hard as shit. It's not about the players, but you can see what the Giants are trying to do quarterback-wise, trying to, not put themselves in the best place to win at times, which is just crazy to say. But, hey, man, it's a business. You got to win in this business or you will be fired. You need great players or you'll be fired. How do you get great players? The draft. Dolphins, Packers. That is a prime time game. primetime football game. A great, great, great football game. So that's an elite game. I think the Ravens Eagles is an elite game. I think this Bucks Panthers game is going to be better than people think. Tremendous. You know the Bengals are going to score a bunch of points, and the Steelers game is going to be great, or at least make it close. But it's been a rough year for the NFL. 49ers Bills would be a great game. So it's a rough year for the NFL. The NFL last year, I remember doing radio, and it was like 85% of the teams are going to be in the playoff picture at X, Y, and Z point of time. And you're like, wow. With week 17, 85% of the teams are still in the playoffs. Now it's not like that. I think teams are clinching this weekend, and it's November. They're going to be clinching in November with like 5 weeks left in division. If certain teams win and certain teams lose, I think Buffalo's in there. So yeah, interesting stuff. Short up here as always. I hope everyone has an awesome, not as always, but of now, awesome Thanksgiving. Thanks for your support of the Colin Thompson Show. Check out Food Drinks Football. We did an awesome episode of Kelly's. I think that got like 20,000 views. Shots and Giggles, which came out last week, did like 50,000 views. Paul's Mentos First Legal Rum. YouTube wouldn't like move it to the algorithm for us and do well because the rum was in it. So we just called that KWFLR. Key West First Legal Rum. D Distillery. Paul Menta. I mean, so we just stripped it all down, and it's been doing great. And we'll have Half Shell Raw Bar, one of my favorite bars ever, coming out next week. 2 weeks after that will be Frenchie's. So they'll just roll out. Going to do a couple episodes here in New York in a couple weeks, maybe an episode or two. So staying busy, it's fun. And we have an awesome sponsor for it, the original Fudge Kitchen. So support them, guys. FudgeKitchens.com. The perfect gift this holiday season. Saltwater taffy, fudge, chocolate covered pretzel. Guys, I appreciate you. Daniel Jones, smart man. Smart man, smart move. Minnesota, he's going to be blown away by it. Giants were great too. Didn't go well business-wise there for him, but they're still a first-class organization. Appreciate you guys. Have a great holiday.